Welcome back to Xplane 11. We are going today to fly from Split in Croatia down to Hvar, which is on an island to the south and east down here. So we're up here at Split and we're going to go across this island group and land at Hvar. We're going to go VFR the whole way. I'm not going to bother with a flight plan. So yeah, let's get our preebies all set up. Make sure them flaps are up please. Thank you. Don't want the flaps down, do we? Right, avionics on. We'll get the transponder is on. We'll leave it on 4700 for the moment. Actually, I'm going to put it on 1200. That'll do, and we'll turn that on. Good. We will get the beacon on, and then we'll mixture ourselves up, boop, boop, and get ready for what's it called? Fuel pump on. Okay, jiggly do. Prop looks nice and clear. A little bit of throttle on. 1, 2, 3, and go. Nice, easy engine start. Okay, now we take the alternator on, and we'll turn the nav lights on and the taxi lights on. Everything's on. Good. We can start taxiing. Park brake off. Round she blows. And I think the runway is just over there. Yep. So VFR the whole way in. I am using real world weather conditions. It actually seems surprisingly clear. I think we've got a 10 knot wind down at low level from 230 was the last bit of information I saw. So we'll be landing from north to south pretty much when we get to Hvar. I had a quick look at the map before, and the airfield there is a small one, small sort of, I think it's concrete or grass. It's a small strip anyway, and it's basically orientated north to south. Right, let's get ourselves lined up here. Whoops, bit heavy on the old thing. Right, we're not going to bother with any kind of run-up checks or flight plan submission. We're just going to go straight off here. Then we're going to turn right. Speed looks good, 60, and we'll let the nose come up. Let's get airborne. Look at that, nice and easy. Okay, so taxi lights off. Thank you very much. For some reason the landing light's not working, and I don't know why. So I've updated to the beta 6 patch, and this landing light's not working. Can't switch it on or off. It's permanently off. I'm not sure why that's happened, but it has. Anyway, we're going to turn on to about 150, and we're going to fly out across this near island, across that second island, and I believe it's the third. Well, that's not really an island, I don't think, it's just a spit of land. And then we're going to come out across, so across this bit of land, across this island, between those two, and then that's the island we're landing at. So nice and easy. Very easy, hopefully, to visually navigate this, because we can just count the islands. Trimming out the rudder, trimming out the nose. Let's try and maintain something about 1,500 would be nice, indicated. I didn't set my, didn't bother setting the altimeter. Oh, it's a lovely day. Okay, we're just about there with the rudder. And gonna need a bit more nose down trim, I think. I might just give a notch of right aileron. Okay, that's looking pretty good. We're still climbing. Couple down on the, bring the RPM back to about 2350. Okay, we'll come right of fraction. Good. We're on our way. Flying across the ocean. Now these sea textures still do bother me a little bit. They could be bigger plates, like texture plates, because you can see the repetition. You can see these sort of straight lines, the repeating textures, and it just doesn't look very convincing. I'd rather that they were a bigger individual plate. And I know you do get these patterns in the ocean when you've got waves all being driven in the same direction, but it doesn't look like that. It just looks like, see, look, those lines there, rup, rup, but it's too clean. It's just the texture repeating, and I don't like it. Speaking of, I don't like it. I've been watching this TV series on Netflix called The Crown, and it charts the first few years, or so far it's been charting the first few years of the reign of Lizzie, Queen Elizabeth II. Quite interesting. I don't really like period dramas, especially period, shall we say, costume dramas, especially British period costume dramas. I hate those sort of Downton Abbey type shows where the sort of historical setting is purely a pretext to superimpose modern dramas over a different set of costumes, basically. But The Crown is not like that. The Crown is much more of a historical journey, charting the relationship between historical figures through historical events. There's still obviously quite a lot of artistic license. You're never quite sure how much of the private conversations they have to show, how much of that happened, and did it happen the way they've portrayed it. But it seems quite accurate so far, at least to a Wikipedia sort of level of history, which is nice. If you're into history, especially 20th century history, it's recommended viewing, I would say. It's quite interesting watching Churchill in his second term as Prime Minister and thinking how the context of his second premiership was so much different from the first, and it seems quite difficult for him to adapt to a peacetime premiership. He was always sort of, it seems to me, he was a guy who was always on a war footing, which must have been incredibly draining, but sounds like he had bags and bags of energy, that guy. Maybe that's why and how he did it. Effervescence of character, old boy. So some other highly recommended viewing is the comments section in my last DCS video. There's one chap hiding behind the veil of anonymity who decided to have a go at basically every video I've ever recorded, and it makes for jolly entertaining reading. Unfortunately, he was unable to back it up with any specifics, so we're still waiting, fingers crossed, that he'll come back with some proper analysis. Seems like someone who may have been lurking around this channel for some while. Well, that's what he claims anyway. I mean, it's the internet after all. It's full of bullshit and nonsense. I'm hoping it wasn't just bullshit and nonsense, but I strongly suspect that it was, which is a shame. Cowardly bullshit and nonsense too, hiding behind anonymity like that. But have a read, quite funny. Comments section, my last video, DCS video. Right, we are approaching now well, we'll call it the second island. It's the second land crossing. It's the first proper island, I believe. Oh, that was connected to the mainland. So we're coming over this spot of... Here's my flight path so far. It's been a little bit wobbly, but not too bad. Coming up over the spit now, 2,000 feet. I think I need to keep trimming that nose down. It really just keeps climbing, this thing. Now we start descending, but hopefully this airspeed will pick up and then it'll give me a bit more lift, so it won't be too problematic. So we're turning a fraction. I'll just kick the left aileron over and roll it back out again. Yeah, so we got our airspeed, and then of course we started climbing again, and now we're going mad for a climb. Really mad for a climb. Okay, I may just have to manage my altitude with the throttle, but I'm going to wait till this thing stops porpoising, Once it's settled down, then I'll use the throttle. But in fact, we're probably going to be turning in on longish finals soon, because the airfield's going to be over here somewhere at my 11. Yep, no, almost 12 actually, so it could be right over there. It looks quite hilly though. Hopefully there's some flat land over there in that direction, because we're going to need flat land to land on. Should we do a bit of zooming in just to see if there's some flat land? Okay, there's a low... oh yeah, there's flat land over there. Well, flattish. Flattish. Right, looks like we're on level flight. I think we've settled the nose now. And this doodly doodly is telling me we've got Lima Delta Sierra Bravo, which I believe is my destination. No, it's not. I'm Lima Delta Sierra Hotel. What's Sierra Bravo? Strange. Okay. We should keep flying. That's what we do around here. I recently started playing Skyrim Special Edition again, and I started recording it, and I was going to upload them, but I don't know. I think I'm going to spend more time specialising in the aviation stuff on this channel, because there's just a shitload of gaming channels out there, and no one wants to watch me run around with a sword in my hand smashing, I don't know, can't even remember the name of the creatures they have in Skyrim now, those skeleton things, zipping people with spells. I also had a look at The Witcher 3. It's horrifically bad. It's so terrible, that game. I don't understand. It got such good reviews, everybody harps on about how amazing it is, and I just can't handle it. The voice actor who plays the protagonist, who is the character that you're supposed to play, he's got this deep sort of husky drama voice, that sort of very Hollywood kind of Batman, I'm thinking about going for a walk kind of voice, and everything's sort of dramatic and staged, and oh god, it's embarrassing. It's just horrific listening to the guy, and then it's all only third person view, which I hate. Makes for just really disorientating. It's like flying an airplane in third person, which I can't do. Got to be in the cockpit so you can kind of orientate yourself mentally. Where is the airfield? Should be over there someplace. Have I turned too far? Possibly. Shall we check the map? Shall we check the map, mummy? Yes dear, let's check the map. Right, we've got this sort of hand-shaped, it's not really hand-shaped, I'm calling it hand-shaped. This piece of hand-shaped land, the hand land, as it's quite famously known around these parts, we're going to fly over hand land, and then our airfield should be over there, up in the armpit. There it is. I see it. There. Look. There's a thin bit of grey with a building or something. That's got to be it. Okay. I'm going to check the weather. I'd like to see the wind, please. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, what are the conditions at the field currently? Clear. Wind 05 at 10. 5 knots at 10 degrees. Wow. Okay, nice and clear. 5 knots at 10 degrees means I need to land from the south. So we're going to swing around into a downwind-ish approach, and then we'll make a right-hand turn. I don't actually like doing the right turns into finals, actually, because I'm sitting on the left-hand side of the cockpit. I prefer to do a left-hand turn, so I've got better visibility into the... Oh, what? Huh. Into the threshold. So we're going to actually kick out to the right here with the airfield on the left. We'll fly along the edge of this, inside this hill here, along the coast, and then we will make a left turn into that field over there, We'll come around over that row of trees, over the power lines, and then we'll make a left turn and then we'll land. Diddly diddly. How's my airspeed? 110 knots, 116 miles per hour. Tracking very nicely. We are level at 2,300 feet. I'm going to now throttle back actually. It's going to reduce down to about 2,200 so we can start slowing up. I'll trim the nose back a couple of notches, a couple of nachos, 3 nachos of nose up. There it is. Another cracking day here in Croatia. Certainly a lot more pleasant than it currently is in Bavaria, let me tell you. Although I like snow. I never grew up around snow, and it's only since I've moved to Europe that I've experienced what proper snowfall is like, and it's lovely. As long as you're inside and you're warm, then snow is delightful. If the snow outside is delightful, and something spiteful. That's not the lyrics though, is it? I'm pretty sure the word spiteful is not in that song. Frightful. And the monsters are very frightful. The children are being frightened. So that beacon might actually be for this... Oh, hello. That beacon may actually be for this airfield. Lima Delta Sierra Bravo. Right, we're now descending a bit. We're going to drop down. We've got the airfield here at 10 o'clock. We're on a downwind leg. Let's look for some landmarks that I can... Actually, what I'll do is I'll go around that hill, out over the water, and then we'll turn in and we'll use this sort of residential road as my lineup. Very good. Very well. Prepare to fire the laser cannon. So, there's no traffic here. Hvar aerodrom. Maneuvering speed, 110 knots indicated airspeed. That's interesting. Maneuvering speed. I guess if you start pulling G above that, it could be dangerous for the aeroplane. I'm reading that just here. Assure that contaminants... Should it be ensure? Not assure. Ensure that contaminants... including water, are removed from the fuel and the fuel system before flight. Failure to assure. Failure to ensure. EN. Contaminant-free fuel, and heed all safety instructions and owner advisories prior to flight can result in bodily injury or death. Yep. You have been warned. Don't bloody come crying to me when you die. Airspeed. Right, we can probably pour on a little bit now because getting a bit slow. I'll go for 2100. Actually, we'll go to 2200. And we now need... Oh, I forgot! Oh yeah, I didn't forget to turn this off. Landing light, I'd love to be able to turn that on. Because I want to land now. Set up for landing. Fuel pump on. Cockpit secure. Brakes are off. Check the toe brakes are free. I know my undercarriage is down because it's fixed. My flaps are up. They'll be going down shortly. Fuel pump. Pumping away like mad. Pump on, fuel pump. Pump on. Shall we turn in now? Am I far enough away from the threshold? Perhaps not. We'll just continue on this heading for a bit. Oh, look at this little bay here. Wouldn't you love to have a house there? Look at that. Oh, that's cracking. Gee, look at that. Lovely little village. We're going to be turning left in about 5 seconds. I'm going to bring the throttle back down now. Away we go, turning onto base, a base turn. We're going to do a descending base turn. Right, airspeed's much too high. I'm going to kill the throttle. Not a bad base turn actually, considering that I basically did nothing by the book here. I just rolled in and doing it all visually. Yep, give it a bit more tip. Oh, look at the reflection of that hill on the water over there. Ding ding, points for Xplane 10. Okay, I've turned inside the threshold, so I'm just going to relax my turn and try and just bring that RPM and airspeed down. Okay, I'll put in my first notch of flapperoonies. Good thing there's no other traffic. Let's trim back on the nose. Bit of throttle. Second notch of flap. I think we've got a crosswind. Is there a... There, there's one there, there's one there. Got a crosswind from the right. I'm going to do a crosswind landing here. I think this is the first crosswind landing I've ever done in Xplane. Okay. Well, okay, a crosswind landing. Here we go. I think we've got about... It said 5 knots before, but I don't believe that, because that windsock looks like it's at about 10 to 15. Oh, no, it's a bit limp. A mild crosswind, shall we say. But it actually, you can see it. You can see I'm crabbing in here. I'm pointing in that direction off there. And I'm kind of lining up on the threshold. I'm going to come right just a bit more because I'm just inside the threshold here. Yeah, I'm actually crabbing in quite significantly. Okay, 50 knots, full flap down. I'm too high. We're going to land halfway down this one. Geez, I'm high. Bloody hell, I may miss this. Oh, that's a terrible approach. Oh dear. There's bloody road cones marking out this runway. I don't think we're going to make this. Oh, heavy landing too. Okay, let's get a bit of brake on. Okay, that was a terrible approach and a heavy landing. I was too high. And I was too... Oh, look, dust! Oh, it's a dirt field. Woof, woof, woof. Woof, woof. Or have I broken something? Am I on fire? Okay, we'll taxi over here and then we'll find out. Actually, I might just go to an external view now just to check that we're not on fire. That was just dust. Let's just go shift. Yeah, it's just dust. Cool. Hey, wicked! A dirt field with dust. Nice! And you can see the windsock there showing the crosswind. And we'll go over to this park up here. Okay, I'm pretty comfortable saying that was my worst approach and worst landing of the series so far. So there's one thing I've got to learn to do is crosswind landings on short fields. Now I need to turn into wind, don't I? Because I've got to put the flaps up because we don't want this aircraft getting airborne. We'll shove the nose into wind. Put the park brake on. Quick smart. Right, there we are. There we are then. Welcome to Hvar. Don't need a taxi actually. Nav lights off, beacon off. And we may just have a quick look at that horrific off please. That horrific landing. Just trying to get this thing off. Oh, there's the off button. It's actually separate. Ha ha ha. You lot off. Fuel pump off. I won't turn the master and the battery off. Lean the mixture. Get the magnetos off. Throttle to 0. Good, we're done. Let's have a look at that miserable landing, shall we? We'll play it from here, I think. So this is the about 200 or 300 feet up. Just approaching now. You can see that I'm at quite an angle to the runway and I'm much too high. Yeah, now I'm getting all like, oh crappity crappity, trying to bleed off some speed, trying to line myself up, doing a poor job of it. Oh crappity crap, should have gone around, should have gone around, should have gone around. Too late. I'm going to break this aeroplane if it's the last thing I do. And then get it back into wind a bit. Down we come, down we come. Kabump! 3 points, but a bit scroungy, leaping around like a mad dog. Throttle back on the brakes. And dust. Cool. Possibly not as bad as it felt when I was in the cockpit, but not a great approach, all a bit rushed and all a bit amateurish. But we're here. We are at Hvar, and another leg of our journey is complete. Should have put those flaps up before I started taxiing, shouldn't I? That was a bit naughty.